Well, good morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us. And this is the first in a series of webinars that we're going to be running, sort of a podcast style webinar where we're meeting our partners from across the country just to understand the work that they do, the customers they work with, and how Infinity and Click can help them reach their goals, whether they'll be business or data driven. And with me today is Guillaume, or Gilly as I call him. How are you, Gilly?
Hi, Mike. Great to be here. I'm good. I'm good.
Excellent. And our first partner and the most important partner is
Oh,
Sergey from Qurious. Hi, Sergey. How are you this morning?
I'm good. How are you, Mike? Good
I'm
morning.
pretty good. I'm pretty good. I'm hoping that nobody hears a rather lot of road work going outside the front of my building. Today, of all days, they've chosen to dig up the
Uh,
roads. So hopefully it's not coming across on the recording. So, Sergey, thanks very much for joining us today. It's an absolute pleasure for us. Could you tell us a little bit about Qurious? What do you do and who do you work with?
okay, a bit as I mentioned before in a premier talk, it is hard question because from one side you want to be very short, from another side you can be very long. So I'm curious who we are. We are a group of consultants focused mostly on click technology. Uh, but not only on the click technology. So, and that's why I call us more business intelligence consultants than click consultants. And the main goal for us is to make our customers happy. How can we do that? Just by enabling them to make data-driven decisions. And how, and all of that sounds very abstract for me, at least. So that's why let's go a little bit deeper into the details. So basically, what's happening generally on our project, we listen to our customers, we look at their specification if there is any, and trying to understand what problem they actually trying to solve and solving it for them. So, and doing it pretty quickly. Like the latest example was a client who just actually they are mining their business in renting out the machinery to other mining companies. So basically, they've got big machines to rent it out. And they asked us, they got burned a little bit of this Power BI, but probably technology is not really an issue. But they wanted to get quick reports and reconciliation, and we did it within a couple of days. So, and for a majority of projects, it would sound like it is very quick one, and it was very quick one and quite successful. So, I'm sorry, I got digressed as usual.
And were they finding this difficult, firstly, before you got involved, Serge? Were they finding that a painful exercise before you became involved?
It was painful exercise before we joined because they hired another supplier who spent some time delivering something which wasn't really usable. While when we joined, within first half a day, we loaded that data from both data sources, joined them together, and the next day when we showed up on their doorstep, we already shown how everything works. So that was pretty quick. So it was painful originally, but just because we understood what they want to do, we managed to show them the value of Click, or the value of associative engine, how everything works.
And this is something I really love about Click when you have someone that doesn't know a lot about the technology and you present for the first time, they always have this wow effect. So you get something very quickly, you bring some data together, and then you present it, they're like, wow, but in a couple of hours, in a couple of days, you did this. Because with other tools, you sometimes even need other tools to treat data, to do all other processes. With Click, you can just do everything all together. Probably that's what you did too, right?
Yes, the thing is that why Click for us is very important, because one person, one consultant can actually deliver end to end, from just listening to the customer and gathering requirements, understanding what they need, then bringing data into the platform, transforming data in the way it's required, and presenting it straight away. And it doesn't take long. So in addition to that previous example with the project, we never used those systems. We never sourced the data from the systems that we sourced that time. And we managed to do it within basically in a matter of hours. So yeah, this is why yeah, you're right, Guillermo. The associative engine and Click generally in the good hands, they give you this wow effect to the customer. Yeah, you're right.
Serge, you're based in Perth. Is there a reason you're based in Perth, or do you work with other customers elsewhere around Australia?
We are based in Perth because we live in Perth. That's the main reason. So as for the customers who we work mostly with customers in Perth or surrounds. However, we have customers in Queensland as well. So it doesn't really matter where the customers are because we can easily do it remotely. It's still like it's worth noting that being on site sometimes makes the difference, but it also depends on the people. If people are happy to interact remotely, I mean, just quickly catch up. Like when they have a question, just call on Teams and get response straight away to the questions we have, and it helps a lot. So that's why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter where the customers are. However, we probably mostly focused on Australia. We don't go beyond it yet.
So the move to Perth was for home before business. Is that was the?
That's correct. That's correct. So we moved to Perth first, and then just because we saw the opportunity here. There were not too there was a demand for Click, but not too many let's call them resources to deliver quality product. That I saw the opportunity. We just started the business here.
Yeah, fantastic.
And you went straight into the mining sector because I know that you work heavily with, you have a lot of mining customers, but was that like something from when you first started?
No, not really. So we started actually in utilities. Our one of the biggest, and actually our first customer was Western Power. Still our customer, but mining is kind of natural selection here in Western Australia because the majority of business in mining. So, and it is not just mining companies, but all associated businesses too. So. Yeah, basically our two main industries here are mining and utilities, while like our consultants have experience in a variety of businesses, starting from banks and healthcare, and even they work with Qantas, like the very different things. So. Pharmaceuticals, one of the consultants has PhD in biology and but still doing Click. Yeah? So it doesn't matter really while we are focusing on those businesses which are presented here. We can probably do anything.
So Serge, was there a reason you chose to focus on Click? I know you work with other business analysis and business intelligence tools, but what was the reason you decided Click was the main focus for the business?
Like Click is basically it is more historical reasons than anything else. However, when I started to use Click in 2008, I was leading the IT team, IT company, even for a group of companies back in Eastern Europe. And we've chosen Click because of its flexibility and basically wow effect that we saw on one of the customers. So they just showed us how easily Click works, how it is easy to interact with it. And myself and my boss at the time, we just picked Click straight away. While we tried Cognos, we tried Oracle BI, we tried Business Objects. maybe some other things, don't remember now. So, but Click was the tool of choice. And if you ask me why it started, why it is our business focus, just because my main expertise and our consultants' expertise was mainly in Click. Like we were just doing, before we started business, we were doing Click for, what was the time? Basically more than 10 years. And we just wanted to, how to say, not really return on investment, but kind of. So, you know, we focused on that for 10 years and you just want to get something out of it. So we just do it better than many other things. While what I found, the tool is actually not the, generally not the main thing. The main thing are people who do the job, because tool quite often doesn't matter. Well, with Click, I would say it does matter because of associative engine. I don't know any other tool that does it, where you load the data and straight away all filters are global. You can slice and dice whatever you want to slice and dice. So the speed of it is just incredible.
You've also been a partner of Inphinity for some time, Serge. So can you tell us why you chose Inphinity and what benefits you've noticed that has brought your customers?
Infinity, like I heard about Infinity quite a long time ago, but I haven't used it. And I started because my fellow partner ambassadors, Click partner ambassadors, I think it was roughly a year ago or so, maybe a bit more. We had a nice chat over the dinner at Click Connect. Well, it was April last year. And they just mentioned that they were surprised how stable and reliable Infinity is, and recommended for me to use it. I was trying to use some other tools as well.
This would have been for write back. Would that have been for write back reason?
Yeah, that would be write back. That would be write back. So basically, the recommendation was the speed and reliability. So and when we started to use it, that just confirmed. So we can definitely see that it is reliable and it is fast. So those are main reasons. Like, you know, probably just living in Western Australia, everything is here is done by reference. So you just it's word of mouth, the main selling mechanism, not anything else. So.
Yeah, I think that's the way of the world, though, Serge, isn't it? I mean, really, it's who you know rather than what you know. So from that perspective, Infinity's helped you maybe build more business with your customers that would use Click. Would you opened up new doors?
I wouldn't say it's actually opened new doors, but it helped with it helped to help customers more. So we had several quite interesting projects using Infinity, like the talking about those the main thing we use Infinity for would be just adding comments to finance reports. Just, you know, it's not enough for finance people just create a balance sheet, P&L, cash flow statement, and so on. They generally want to add comments on top of it, or get the comments from the site people for the cost for the variances in actual versus budget kind of analysis here. So, and generally how it happens that if you don't use Infinity, they would come up with Excel spreadsheet, they would send it to many people, those many people would fill it out and then send it back. So then someone need to sit and collect it. While with Infinity, it simplifies everything, because the report stays where it is in Click. People just log in, see their number, it is highlighted, so they know that they need to comment on it. They add the comment, save it, and basically the job is done. If by any reason, for any reason, the underlying data changes, it highlights the data change and comment is not valid anymore, they need to update the comment. So they update the comment and again, it's done. So after that, people just click on the button, get the on-demand generated P&L balance sheet with comment and that's it. So that's as simple as this. Probably the biggest project we did was automation of budgeting and forecasting for one of the mining clients. Yeah, I was surprised by the power of Infinity, that what it brings to the table. So basically, people not just entering the data like, okay, for this line item, this X amount of dollars or X amount of dollars per shift or something like that. So we can actually define the formulas in there, utilizing like Click plus Infinity type of functionality. Guillermo was helping about it, so he can tell more. We, like with this project, we not just saved money for the customer because they don't need to pay for adaptive insights. Adaptive insights is like it is proper business planning solution and forecasting. So they saving money on this, but they also managed to plug in more people into the system. So now instead of one person, as it used to be, centering the data, they distributed this workload, and they also want to plug more people in, so the area managers, they can actually do it by themselves, while probably with adaptive, why it allowed them to do that, it was probably just too complex for them.
Yeah.
So I would say, yes, if you've got a complex process with top-down, bottom-up approaches to do budgeting, as well as like difficult, like not difficult, complex process of how it's approved and so on, I wouldn't go with Infinity. But for majority of people, for 80% of the people, they don't need it. They just need to enter the data and do it quickly. And that's why Infinity is very helpful.
For those who are watching here, I had the pleasure to work with Sergey in this project, and it was amazing. It was the first time I had to use the hierarchy command. So this was, you had some brilliant insights in there. So we were just basically, I don't know if we will be able to share some screenshots. We had to create a budget, and we had multiple accounts. With another form, we were defining the calculations of these accounts. So we had a lot of hierarchy levels, different calculations behind the scenes. But at the end, we could create some very complex scenario. And still with Click, we can control section access. So the managers, they will have access only to their own sites and things like that. So it was for me, it was a huge learning experience. And it was a great product too that was delivered, I think. So they really like it, isn't it?
Yeah, they really like it. I agree. So they enjoyed it now. They already requested some small adjustment here and there, but it's just additional functionality. Yeah, surprisingly, that thing that you mentioned with hierarchy is basically when you've got multiple levels of calculation, where you've got basic figures, then on top of basic figures, they need to be used in next level, and those figures needs to be used in next level. And if I remember correctly, there were like 7 layers of it. It all can change absolutely dynamically. So people just select, I want this line item multiplied by this line item, add this line item, and so on and so on and so on. They just can do it by themselves in just separate screen. So, and it's all been taken into account during all this recalculation. So yeah, thank you, Guillermo, for your help. That was while it was probably my proof of concept how to make it happen, and that was your implementation. Thanks for that.
Thank you. And we talked about some planning use cases. What else do you see in the customers that can be useful? So mostly the typical use cases, planning. What else do you normally use? The comments, isn't it?
Yes, I like the idea is like when customers get Infinity, the idea is just basically remove all this variety of Excel spreadsheets that they generally use to add the data. Like one of the examples would be section access, where there are multiple applications that have departments in it or something like that, and people generally want to split access between those departments. So if historically we used just Excel spreadsheet, but then the problem with that you need to know username, you need to know how specifically department spelled, and so on and so on. While when you do it in Click at Infinity, you get the data about users from API calls straight to Click. You get the list of departments again from the actual data, and you just specify who's supposed to see what. So there is basically no room for error. I mean, there is always room for error, but it is much less. Yeah. So like majority of our clients, like they start with P&L mapping, balance sheet mapping, like if it's about finance, or some other small mappings that allows them to get more out of data, to enhance their data. So, and the idea is that we just basically push all those things, utilizing the existing data in the apps, and allowing users to add and update data straight in Click using Infinity, which is great. Everyone likes it. So.
There's one thing here that I wanted to share with you. I think you didn't have time yet to see. It's our new extension that was just launched. I will just quickly show you here in my screen, and maybe you can add some comments, because I know that this is brand new for most of our customers and partners too. So you already know Infinity, but the new extension now is a bit different. So you can create some sort of editable pivot table, as you can see here in my screen.
Yes.
So you have the dimensions from Click. You can do all of that. And instead of changing just row by row, you can also have top-down or bottom-up calculations. So if I change something here, for example, in this dimension, clothing in Canada, which is under North America, I will just add some values here, like 500. It will aggregate the values or sum the values and change everything in the grand totals. Or if I want to do the opposite, it will also change the values below. Like if I change something here in May, I will just put some value here, like 5,000. It will change for all lower values.
Yeah, this looks very cool.
And it's super easy to set up.
Yep.
Like as you know, like we work with instances, so all I have to do, I'll just create here an object so you can see how easy it is. I have here forms planning. I just bring it to the screen. We need to define here that instance which is actually where we want to save the data. I will just create one here very quickly in my environment. So I have the forms admin app, form configuration. I will create a new table to save this data, and this will be the planning QVD. Which means that I will have a file called planningdemo.qvd. Now I can specify here and start defining the dimension. So it could be, for example, region, or category, and then the columns. And columns could even be maybe something that is not in the data model, like a value loop or something like that.
Yeah, we used it with you. Yeah, I remember.
And the measure, which is actually the editable field. So if I put something here like plan, here I have the structure.
Okay.
If I want to put the months in here, I will just change here for something that is actually in the data model. So I have a column called month.
Yep.
And as soon as I start adding values in here, it will aggregate from the lower levels to the top. Same thing here for the others.
But how does it save the data? Does it save the data only on the lowest level, or it saves the data for all levels?
For all levels.
For all levels. Okay, so
no,
in QVD you will have.
No, sorry, it is just for the lowest levels. You're right.
Yes. Yeah.
Like if I click save here, I can go to my forms data folder.
Yeah.
Here I have the planningdemo.qvd. And you will see that only clothing and furniture in Africa are saved. This is a structure. I only have 2 rows.
Yep.
The other totals here are calculated in the object level.
Yep. Looks good. Looks great. I think we can use it for not for the case that we created for in the last project, because it also included, that wasn't really pivot table because it included actuals and then calculated actuals and propagating that data. So, but for the simple cases where basically people do not have the budget process yet, it might work very, very well. Yeah, I like it, especially a top-down one.
For the uninitiated like me, I mean, this is essentially a tool that's going to help save time.
It does, because sometimes, like, you probably have done a couple of budgets in your life, Mike, maybe, but most sales budgets, yes, because in
I tend to
my
ignore them straight away.
because in my experience, I had to create budgets, cost budgets for IT, and it was like 5 offices in 3 different countries, and that was consolidated budget for all of them. And I did it in Excel, which was pretty good. But I think using this tool, it would be even simpler. I would say so, because sometimes you have a budget figure and you just want to split between all of them. You just enter it like 15K, and it's bam, split equally across all of them. So, and sometimes it works, sometimes it's not, but it's up to me to change it. So yeah, it was good. So, and this experience that I was on the business side. I mean, it was still IT, but still business. So I kind of understand the processes, what people do, and it's why it helps us to deliver more to our clients.
Now, I guess with that in mind, Serge, the reason
Yes.
you probably built your business is around your ability to support your customers. Now, how do you find the Inphinity and maybe even Click support? Are we supporting partners well enough? Is there any areas that we can improve?
I have nothing to say, nothing bad to say about Infinity. So everything is great. I mean, as soon as I have a question, I get an answer straight away. And sometimes it's just quick chat with Guillermo, or sometimes it's a support call, but they are pretty quick. So I had no issues at all. With Click, it depends on the use case. If it's something simple, they will also sort out it straight away. More complex things may take a bit of time, but it's just more complex things.
Yeah, so it's a global team. You've got to deal with them.
Yes, it's a global team, and it is. It really depends. And sometimes my issue is like very minor compared to everything else. So I understand.
Moving, I'm just sort of conscious of time here, so I'm thinking.
Yep.
AI, we're all talking about AI. Gilly went to the Click Connect tour in the States,
Yes.
and came back enlivened with stories of artificial intelligence and machine learning and so on. Are you beginning to see how AI is affecting your business, or is it affecting your business? Are you considered how it could be used?
It is an interesting question because everyone now is talking about AI and how they can use it, and like we already use it in some way. Basically, now to publish website article or LinkedIn article takes not seconds, like minutes, but not hours. Why? Because you just describe an idea, you ask ChatGPT or whatever tool it is, and just rewrite it in a nice way, and it does it for you. Yeah, and you just edit it a little bit, and it is done. So it means that time to deliver these sort of things, time to do marketing got shortened, which is great.
Yeah.
So, however, I am still looking for good use cases to offer our clients to do that, because like there is a variety of problems you need to solve to actually plug in this large language model into your data, asking questions about your data and so on. So, and sometimes they will dream and tell you something which is completely incorrect. So that's why, like in the future, it looks like we may lose our dashboards, like because if you think about it, what we deliver generally, like if in simple terms, it is or report or an application that allows you to answer questions. Yeah, so you've got the question, you go into click, you click some, apply some filters or see some problem, and you just get into it. But in the future, it is most likely it will be that you just ask your assistant, virtual assistant, your AI assistant, or how about like I want to know this, and it gives you this data, if not straight away, but very, very soon. However, there will be still trust issue because people will have to check if it is actually correct data. Because if they want to make a big decision on top of it, like as for me, I would like to be 100% sure that it is what I'm looking at. And I'm like, short-term future, there will be, I believe, problems with trust. A long-term future, depending how the short term goes, but most likely we will get there, so we don't really need analytical applications. However, I don't think we will lose the job because someone still need to prepare this data, source this data, make sure that it is right, and then it can be used by all those assistants and so on. Some people say that it can be also done by AI, but what I see that sometimes people have just common sense. They just see that, oh, this one is not right straight away. But for AI, it may not be that apparent.
Yeah.
So
we've got one of our customers. We were talking to one of our customers recently. He used the ChatGPT to develop a script, click script. Is that right, Gilly?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So he was just saving some time. So he was like, oh, I have these tables, I have these columns. Please just create some expressions to do this and this and that. And then it will just send you the script and you just copy and paste, kind of. But I think that like in the future, it will be very useful. It is already very useful, but we are still struggling with companies that save data in Excel. So we still have a long way to go until this really gets to a certain level. Like as in Click Connect, they always said, crap in, crap out. So we'll still have a long way to go until we can really trust the data that will be, or the answers that will come out of these tools.
Yes. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, like you're absolutely right. Depending on what you've got in your system, you will get an appropriate answer. If the data is not good, using statistical methods, you probably can get up to 80% of probability that it is correct and good enough. And 80% is generally good enough. But if you want to be 100% correct, that's a different story. However, like I heard opinions that just because AI can learn 24/7, 365, they will quickly solve it. However, I honestly do not believe in miracles because generally miracles are done by someone. Yeah. So, but yeah, we will see. We will see how it goes. It will be interesting. We are at very interesting times. We will see how everything changes very, very soon. You probably heard that they've got in Canberra. They had a hearing about how AI impacts all this creative type of professions, editors, writers, and so on. And they already feel that it is basically decrease in demand. Why? Because people are using AI to generate their things. They have different concerns as well. But yeah, this is true. It is already changing our world.
Yes, it's certainly doing that. So I think we should sort of wrap things up there, Serge. We've taken up quite a lot of your time this morning.
That's all right.
But what is just, I suppose, one last one. I mean, what's the goals for Qurious for the coming year, and how can we help you achieve some of those?
The goals are pretty simple. We just want to grow team here in Perth a little bit and get. I won't give you the numerical goals. We have them too, but generally we just want to make sure that our team here is sustainable. But as you probably know, I didn't mention it before. Our team is actually like very international. We have people working with us from Eastern Europe. Guillermo at some point was working from Brazil. So we have people from east of Australia. So it's we are not just Perth-based. We're Perth-based, but we have consultants working from all over the world. And but we do want to grow a little bit local presence and make sure that it is all sustainable. So that's the goal. That's the main goal.
Well, fantastic. Yeah. Serge, thank you very much for your time today. It's a pleasure talking to you as always. Hopefully Gilly and I can get across to Perth again. We visited Perth for the first time ever only a few weeks ago, and it was great to catch up with Serge there. Fantastic weather. Thanks again, Serge. Really appreciate it. Obviously, anybody out there interested in learning more about Qurious and what they do with Click, certainly if you're based in WA, contact him at the links below. And again, if interested in anything Inphinity or Click, all the links below to contact us here. So again, thanks everybody for watching, and thanks again for your time, Gilly. So yeah, have a great day, everybody.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Guillermo. That was a good opportunity. Bye.